not Friday morning. How the living is it not Friday today? I do not understand how I have lived 1 million lives and it is only Thursday morning. It makes no sense.
1 million lives this week alone.
Extra days were added to this week for sure. It was like first Monday, second Monday, third Monday, fourth Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, but I mean, we said it last week. You know, it's the grind week. So
no, I just watched last week's episode, and I wanted to tell you it did not age well. It did not age well. Last week we were like, the week we were in was grind week. It was crunch week. And this week, which we are in right now, was gonna be glory. Everything done, everything handled. We're just sitting, chilling, earning money for doing very little. And that is not the case. And past Arielle and Cody were morons. Like, absolute morons. They had no idea what this week was going to have in store for them.
We should have known. I mean, because we
last week
why
was
did
too
we
easy.
expect to get why did we expect to get the digital print last week? I don't know why our timing was so off. I don't know, we definitely had the wrong dates for last week, because this week is the week. Yeah. But we're doing okay. We're still alive. I mean,
yeah,
even
we're just
if you've had a
awkwardly
million
twitching.
lives.
Like, we've all just got this like nervous tick. But yeah, we're doing good, I suppose.
It's all the caffeine. It's all the caffeine. The extra caffeine needed to get through everything. Oh, that's dusty.
What did
Anyway,
you pick up?
so I
what
had
did you
this...
pick up? I must know. What was it?
It's just one of my figures.
Oh, Cody, is that not the absolute worst? There is nothing as great, in my opinion, in this life as putting your figures out and getting to gaze upon them. Like, it's great. It fills me with such joy. But the trick is you've just got to quickly gaze at them. You can't focus on them. Because the moment you focus on any figure or statue, you realize... Have you never been dusted in your life? How did you get into this state?
Is there a solution? I've tried the, like, you know that stuff you spray on your table and it's supposed to keep dust away? That doesn't work. But I've never thought that stuff works anyway, but I thought I would try that. That's, I don't know, maybe we need to like anti-static charge our figures. Can we invent that?
I have air purifiers. Because my idea was that if the dust is in the air purifier is going to suck that out of the air before it has time to settle on my statues, correct?
No, but okay, carry on.
What is actually happening is my air purifier's filter has lasted forever. Because it sucks no dust out of the air, because everything just goes straight for the statues, and my air purifier is sitting there like, oh, this air is delightful. No dust in this air. Yeah, you're right. There is no dust in the frickin' air because it's all just caked onto my statues. And the statues that are the hardest to dust and clean are always the biggest dust magnets. Always.
And it like sticks to it. Like you have to like actually scrub the dust off of it. You know what I mean?
I have this one Spikiosaurus. Like every bit of that statue is spiky, which means like it is a nightmare to wash, dry, dust, anything. And if I put it on a shelf with 50 statues, all 49 will be fine, and that one will be covered with dust. And I'm like, I hate you. I hate you. You're great to look at, but I hate you.
I have this one random spawn dressed as a pirate figure. And
that is so funny.
Like,
my Spikiosaurus is also spawned.
It's always
it's quite
spawned.
literally
You see,
a spawn.
it's got to be
so
spawned.
Funny.
And that one as well just attracts dust. And the worst part is every time I try and clean it, like I'll bump his hat off and then his hat's missing for a week. Or he'll drop his sword.
Our one is his gun. His gun always falls off and then it's gone.
Gone forever.
Yep.
I literally have figures inside my PC case that collect less dust with all the inside there than the figures that are just standing by themselves. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But now we know it's spawn characters, so avoid spawn figures unless you keep them inside a Perspex box.
But it really, like, it's actually painful. But it's fine. It is what it is. Just never look too closely.
No. Just reminds me that I need to do a bit of a dusting after this anyway. A bit of reorganizing. I suppose I could.
Is that your way of coping with insurmountable amount of stress, right? Like, we're drowning in work and then you're like, I should rearrange my office and dust. Is that your, like, coping mechanism?
Isn't that always the case? You always put off the hard tasks for stuff that you would never do normally, but it sounds pretty easy.
My house
but it's going to take a lot of
is
time.
Never cleaner than during crunch week. Like, usually my house operates on a system of I need to know 24 hours before a guest pops around so I can quickly just clean everything. Unless it's crunch week. My grandma could be outside right now and I could just let her in because our house is spotless.
Oh man. Speaking of grandmas being outside your house, I saw this funny video the other day, and it's just such an ode to modern kid gamers, but it's one of those like maybe from a Ring video intercom or something, and the grandmother's knocking on the door and she's shouting through the house to the kid, and the kid, she's like, come and open the door, and the kid's like, no, I can't, I'm busy playing a game, I just started a game. And she's like, just pause the game, and he's trying to explain to her that it's an online game so he can't do it. And then she's like, okay, get your dad to come and open the door. And then you hear him shout for his dad, like, Dad, grandma's at the door, go open the door. And he's like, I can't open the door, I'm busy pooping. And then the grandma's just like, she's like, so nobody's literally gonna come and open the door. And then the kid's like, sorry grandma, I guess you're gonna have to come back later, love you, bye. And then the grand just like is so shocked.
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing.
It's just so funny. I can't believe that. Anyway, I was going to bring it up earlier and then we started talking about dusty statues. But I wanted to know, are you one of those people that's like super into Genshin or Genshin, however you say it, Impact? No?
No, not at all.
So I've been playing it because I have to. But while I was playing it, I was just so curious to figure out how or why it got so massive. Like, what was the... Because I've tried to play it a few times since it's been released, and I've just never been, like, grasped. I've never been gached by this game. I don't understand. So I was hoping maybe you were one of them, so you could try and explain it to me.
Not even slightly. The mind boggles. Like, I've never gotten it. Also, I feel like it's one of those things people don't kinda like it. People either don't like it or they're obsessed. Like, the world rotates around this game and I don't get it. But also, the whole Genshin thing, I've never understood. Like,
what, like the genre?
Yes,
the Gacha
the
Games
whole
style.
genre. Yeah, doesn't really
I don't know, yeah.
do anything for me. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
I also couldn't get it. I was trying to sit there and figure it out. Like, is it the collecting? Like, do they collect all the characters? Is that what it is? And then the fact that you can maybe play with them a little bit. And then I was like, okay, maybe. But for me, that's always going to be Pokemon. Like, Pokemon is the number1 collecting
Cody, is this another
game.
way we've aged out? Is this another way we've aged out? We're just sitting here clinging onto Pokemon because it was the game from our childhood, right? And all Gen Zers are sitting there being like, nobody even Pokemons anymore. Ew, that's so old.
I mean, maybe, because now at first I was like, it's impossible because there's still Pokemon games being released today. But if you think about the people that play them, it's us 30-year-old people.
I will say, when Pokemon Go was at its prime in the country, they used to have those really big community days that happened like at the zoo or botanical garden or wherever. And we went to one at the Pretoria Zoo. And I mean, there were thousands of people. There were so many people. And everybody was there with their kids. They were all our age or older. And not a single one of those kids were playing, were interested, cared, nothing. It was just 35-year-old plus people losing their minds, like sprinting through the zoo because somebody saw a Bulbasaur. But yeah, maybe that's why we don't get it.
I can see that.
We've aged out. We're just clinging to the game back in our day.
I don't know. I mean, I remember when Pokemon Go was popular, Ash and I just used to jump in the car and drive slowly around the neighborhood just to
I have two funnies
catch
about
stuff.
that. Two funnies. One, we are still pretty sure to this day that my best friend Jade ended up on a whole bunch of people's watch lists because she got into playing Pokemon Go really late. Like, Larry and I were obsessed with it, and then like 2 years later she was like, oh, what is this magic game? But anyway, the one night she got home she was driving home from boxing, and she was like, oh, look, because being dangerous and all, playing the game while driving, right? She's like, oh, look, down this road, there's a Pokestop I've never been to. I must go. Started driving super slowly because obviously the game picks up if you drive and then it like disables.
Yes.
So she's driving like super slowly, everything with her phone out, trying to spin, trying to get it. Turns out it was a school she was driving past, so super slowly. And one of the like community watch people was patrolling at that time and couldn't understand what she was doing and kept on following her and trying to get her to lower her window, and it was a whole situation. So that was funny. And the second
Just
thing,
imagine the WhatsApp groups.
Larry and I are playing the one night. And we're also, it's like this little strip mall, and we're standing and we're playing, but we're out of our cars and we're busy playing. And there is this car that is creeping ever closer to me. And I was like, okay, it's dark, it's late, it's like an abandoned parking lot. The parking lot is huge. Why is your car trailing after me? And like, as I was moving throughout the parking lot, this car was like slowly trailing behind me. And eventually I was like, that is it. I'm gonna die. Like, I'm gonna die. For sure.
Today's the day. By a very slow moving car.
And then this car came right next to me and lowered his window. And it was Larry's freaking cousin, who turns out he was head of like Pokemon Go community South Africa. And across his car dashboard, I'm talking like 50 cell phones. Just taped onto his car dashboard, and he's busy playing on all of them. And I was like, what has just happened? Like, what am I witnessing? What is the story? What is going on? This is next level.
Wow. I thought that guy on the bicycle with like his 100
It looked like that.
Was...
That image, it looked exactly like that. I want you to picture that, but just in a car with all of them just taped to the dash. It was actually insane. And that's pretty much when Larry and I stopped playing, because I was like, look, it's clearly a problem. Like,
You're gonna turn
if
into
this is
guy.
our future, it can't. This is ridiculous. Like,
although he owns 50 cell phones, I feel like you're not doing too bad for yourself if you have 50 phones, like, right?
I feel like if I remember the story, it was something ridiculous. Like, you could go, because it was during an event where you could get a whole bunch of shinies, and if you were away or whatever, you could just go and take a second phone to him, and then he would play the event for you and get the stuff for you.
I see.
So he had like a whole sect of a community second phone. No, it was insane. Like, that was a time to be alive.
Sure. Wow. And now, not even, like, when was the last time you even opened that up? Never.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a while, but I know lots of people still play, but not to that extent, I don't think. At least I'm separated from it now, like, I've moved on.
Every now and again, something will happen, and I'll be out for dinner with the family, and Luke suddenly started playing Pokemon Go, and then he'll show me some of his, and then I'm like, oh, you know what, I need to re-download this thing. And then I'll download it, and a couple months we'll play. We're lucky in our new place. We literally have 3 Pokestops that you can access from the front garden, so we kind of like.
Wait, do you have a new place now?
No, the same place.
Oh.
I mean, new as in from when Pokemon Go started back in the in the day.
I was like, I don't understand how we went from people taking photos of your house last week to you already having a new place, but cool.
Oh no, no, I would have at least said something. I don't even think those photos are online yet. Like, you know, I thought industry moved very quickly, but obviously not. Like, house selling is a very slow, chilled, no one's in a rush industry until someone wants to buy a house, and then you all of a sudden have to clean everything and make sure everything's packed away, and then this and this
and
and
make
this
it
and
look
this,
like
and
you
then
don't even live in this house. Yeah.
And then they're 45 minutes late anyway, and then it gets cancelled last minute, so that's kind of how it goes.
Also, you know what, like, it's so funny for me, but I mean, we're all like that. If you know somebody's coming to see your house, you're obviously gonna run, clean it, make sure it looks good, everything. But when Larry and I were looking at houses, I don't even care, right? Like, I look past everything. I want to see what the actual house will look like. I'm like, I don't like your crap anyway. I think it's ugly. It doesn't suit my style. I don't care if you have dishes in your kitchen. But then when somebody comes to look at your place, you're like, no, they must never know I have had a dish in this kitchen ever.
We always eat takeouts and we never eat them inside.
But
so you say that though, but I mean, there's a difference between having some dishes in your drying rack that you cleaned last night, you know, that still need to get packed away. And then, so like a couple houses we saw, one of them, you open the cupboard and like roaches and stuff are running around, okay? So immediately you're just like, no, sorry, not gonna buy this house. Funnily enough, there was even one on the estate agent's shirt that was showing us the house. And they didn't even notice, and all you're doing is looking at this bug on the shirt, and you're not worried about anything else that's going on in the house. I don't even remember like anything. I don't know how many bedrooms that place has. All I remember is there was roaches, and one of them was on the estate agent's shirt.
You know what?
And then another place we saw, just everything everywhere, like nothing was ever packed away. There was laundry on the floor, like dirty dishes in every single room you can imagine. So at least put some of your stuff away.
People always want to say that second-hand car salesmen are like super like scammy and snake oil salesman-y and everything, but estate agents, for me, that is just another level of ridiculousness. I remember when Larry and I were looking at places, you'd go, like, I have this 2 memories, but the one we went into, this kitchen was the smallest kitchen you had ever been into in your life. Like, if I put one arm out and my other arm out, I was touching all of the kitchen, like wall to wall. And this estate agent walked in and went, oh, look how spacious it is. And I was just like, it was the size of an airplane bathroom, basically, right? It was not such. It was so small they didn't even have an oven. because there wasn't space for an oven. And then she wants to look me in the eyeballs and be like, look how spacious it is. Like, come on, we don't have to kid each other, right? That is just ridiculous.
We
and then
can
the other
see
one,
how it is.
we had gone to look at this unit and the estate agent was late. And before the estate agent arrived, I already told Larry, you know, we might as well just phone and cancel. Because, you know, those places where just from outside, you're already like, nope, I've seen all I need to see. Like, it's not for me. But anyway, Larry's like, no shame, they're already on their way. We have to do this now. Like, fine. But like,
love how nice we always have to be.
Everything that was wrong with this house, this estate agent was trying to sell me as a feature. So like the front door, somebody had broken the lock out. So the front door couldn't lock and didn't close properly. And the estate agent tried to sell it as, but think how safe the area must be because they still haven't been broken into yet. And I was just like, what? What?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, they're basically the same as secondhand car salesmen. They're just selling secondhand houses over and over and over again. So, like, same sales tactics, right? As long as you get the sale, that's all they're looking for.
And meanwhile, like, I'm so simple. I'm just like, is it fiber ready? What is the internet speed like? And how bad does this area get hit with load shedding? That's it. Those are my requests. After that, I'll like look at the small like little things. But that's it. That's all I need.
The spacious kitchen and the non-lockable front door.
No, truly, like, it's just looking for houses is a ridiculous process. Like, it is. It's absolutely bizarre. The way people live is bizarre. The way, like, estate agents try and sell you on these places is bizarre. The whole concept is just so weird. Like,
and it's always different. And you have to go ahead and do it and live, and then only after you've been living for like a good couple years you realize, oh, actually, maybe I kind of like that tiny spacious kitchen or a front door that doesn't lock when you've had to deal with whatever you're dealing with at the moment, you know. It's an experience thing.
But also, like, I told Larry, it's so weird for me. Like, we went to go see so many places. And it's just like, objectively, events like Comic-Con or Rage and all the geeky stores like Comic Warehouse, etc. They would not theoretically and logically survive if people were not buying their things, right? Shops like exclusive books, stuff like that. Like, why would exclusive books exist if people were not purchasing books? So clearly people are purchasing these things. But I mean, we went to go look at a good 100 houses. And you walk in, there is not a book to be seen. There is not a statue to be seen. There is not a Funko Pop to be seen. And you're just like, I don't understand. Where are these people who are buying these things if I go look at these houses and there's never any of these things in these houses? It's weird.
They're in your house. It's like
yeah, all of me. I am single-handedly
it's the 1%.
keeping the industry alive.
Yep, you're the 1%. They only need 1% of the population to buy 100% of their products. Doesn't matter if it's just you or if it's 3 of you or if it's split between 500,000, right? It's just the small amount of geeks that live in the outskirts surrounding their shop. If you go to their houses, loaded. You know,
apparently they just never sell their homes. They're just like, okay, we bought this house now and we will live here up until the day we die. We will never sell. Okay, I get it.
Too much
I get
effort.
it.
Yeah.
Do you know? So we've spoken before about keeping boxes for things because there's certain things I just can't get it over my heart to throw the box away. But when we were moving, some statues are so hard to get back in their box that Larry and I were like, you know what we'll do is we'll put them on the back seat of our car, surrounded by a whole bunch of towels, and just hope for the best and drive them to the new house. Like, maybe that's what it is. Eventually you're just so settled in your home that you look around and you're like, I either have to burn it all to the ground and start new, or I can never move because it's not worth the risk.
There's too much dust caked onto your figure that it literally won't move anyway, so it has to stay there, you know? That's how it goes. You know, that guy who was importing all of them, and then he did so well that he just turned his garage into a thing.
Yeah, he can never move.
You see? No. Slowly, he's just going to have to start spreading and buying the other houses around him, but he will never move from that location.
That is so funny. They literally bought the house directly behind them and broke the through wall. That's 100% what ended up happening.
Told you. That's how it goes. They just have to spread. You can't move the location. I mean, there was a hobby store that we used to buy our paints and stuff from for Warhammer painting, and they moved their store, and now I don't know where they are. They're still around, but I haven't bought from them in so long just because they moved. Even when I want to go and like buy stuff, I'll drive to where the old store used to be and then be like, oh, there's no store here, and then that's it. Not go to another store. It's just like the store doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. You can't move. Geeks can't move around that often. That's why we have LAN parties, because then we're like, okay guys, it's about time. We need to see each other's faces, so we need to all congregate in one place, and then we congregate, and then we have a good time, and then we split up and we go back to our individual little holes.
I will say, I was thinking about LANing the other day because that was a significant part of my life, and I mean. Not even just my childhood. We were still, I mean, two of our friends had a LAN as part of their honeymoon. So we were still LANing like up until, I would say, COVID, right?
COVID,
And now I can't imagine it. If a friend has to message in the WhatsApp group now and be like, LAN this weekend, the thought of having to rearrange my desk, essentially, like unplug everything, pack things up, put it in a car, move it, to reassemble it, to pack it up, to bring it back, to redo all my cable management, everything. I'm sick. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sick that day.
I mean, you know, when you first brought it up, I was like, oh, I can't. I would love it if someone dropped a message on the group and was like, hey, let's LAN this weekend. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. We're gonna go. We're gonna play games all weekend. We're gonna order pizzas in, you know, just hang out. And then when you started talking about taking everything off of your table, I realized
it's so daunting now. I would far rather, if somebody's like LAN weekend, I'll be like, okay, sick. Do you have a second PC or something there that I can use? Otherwise, I'll just come and hang out with you guys while you guys play. But having to move my stuff, I can't imagine it now. Like, that's for the birds. Like, absolutely not.
So, I mean, I'm looking at my setup now, and at least I've done it in such a way that I can move my box, you know, because the cables are obviously all tied in, so I can move my box around. But I would need to borrow a new monitor. All my other stuff is wireless. Okay, we'll just have to steal a monitor from someone. So if anyone's keen to LAN and they have a second monitor, I'm in.
I will hang out and Cody will play. Cool. But I know that there is no way that you can play through the night. So by the time that you pass out and go to sleep, I'll just sit on your PC and play. So either way, we're good.
Oh man, that reminds me of a story when, well, a few times when we were younger, my stepbrother and my one mate Trent and I, we always used to sleep over at our place. And we had this thing where whoever could stay up the longest gets to gets like the PC for the Saturday or whatever, they can decide. You know, it's like it's their privilege. If they want to play, they can kick whoever's on off. Those were the rules. And Trent would always land up staying up the latest, but he was smart because he would wait until the end of the night when it's like 10 or 11 o'clock, and then he would ask to play on the computer. And then obviously we get bored, so we fall asleep, and he's busy playing games, and then he lands up winning, and then he lands up playing games, and it's like a vicious cycle. Anyway, I think it stems from there. That's why I can't stay up playing all night long.
I just love how even as a kid, you thought the end of a night was like 10, 11 o'clock. You're like, end of a night, bedtime is here.
Yeah, I mean... Not end of the night. I was just like, oh, shame. He deserves a turn to play because we've been playing all day. And then 15 minutes later.
I just know, like, oh, how the mighty have fallen. But that friend of mine, Jade, she never slept. I think the first time that she started sleeping, she was already like 32 years old. And then she was like, okay, it's finally caught up to me now. I need to sleep. But it used to be rough,
the way you say it, though.
No,
let me
explain
started
it.
Sleeping.
Let me explain it. It was next level. I'm pretty sure that one time in our future it's going to come out that she was like a hardcore addict. So that's why she never needed to sleep. But like, so I started dating Larry. Then I was teaching dancing at that point. Jade was in university and Larry was working. So we would all get home and hop on to play at 7 o'clock that evening. We would then play through, and not even a joke, until 5 a.m. the next morning. Everybody go, shower, get ready, go back to whatever they were doing. Teaching, dancing, university, work. Come home, eat, shower. And then at 7 o'clock, Jade will be like, are we playing again tonight? And then it's through until 5. Like, nobody could roll with Jade. It was ridiculous. Like, we'd all try and power through, and eventually we'd be like, we just cannot do this anymore. And Jade would still be fine. She just never slept. Wow. It was insanity.
Was she not sleeping in her uni classes?
No, she was a power nap believer. If Jade could just power nap for like 30 minutes, she was good to go for another like 3 days. But don't worry, those days are long past us now. Those days have long past. We play until 10 o'clock at night now, and then the yawns are there from all of us. But yeah, for a good like 3 years straight, that is what we did. Like, you went, you did your daytime things, you came home, you ate, you got onto Discord, and then you played up until tomorrow morning. And that was just life.
That's crazy. I mean, I used to stay up late, but not like that. That's just ridiculous. I can't.
We used to comment, like, we used to play League of Legends, right? And then you play for so long that the birds come out, the sun rises, everything, and you're still playing League. It was just honestly how life was. But Jade was, even to us then, I mean, we were all doing it, Jade was still a standout. Like, at a point, we used to all crash, and Jade would just be like, no, I'm good, let's play more.
Wow. Unbeatable. I mean, I had a friend who was also a strong power nap believer, and his technique was you always hold something in your hand, and then you like let your body slowly drift off, and when it drops that thing, that's enough sleep. Your body's rested enough, and the shock has woken him back up, and then he's ready to go again. And then it caught up with him because we used to have braais, and he would be passed out in the camping chair, like, by the time 9:30 comes around, and like, you know, 9:30 is only when the food comes off the braai, and he's already conked out in his chair. Shame. So power napping works when you're like 20, just 20, and then after that, it's gonna catch up with you.
I never feel worse than if I wake up from a nap. There are times that I will like have, let's say, a headache, and I'll be like, you know what? powering through this day is just not working. I should go drink headache pills and just take like a 20-minute nap and I'll feel so much better. Absolutely not. I've never felt worse. For some reason, naps do not energize me. They instead drain the last bit of motivation, ambition, energy, anything I had in my body. It is the worst. Naps are not this like amazing, magical cure-all thing for me. I hate it.
An absolute lie. Oh gosh. Well, speaking of lies, maybe it's about time we put this show to rest.
Cody, if we stop talking, we have to start working. We have to leave the sanctity of this table and start working. Just realize that. Those are our
I'm
options.
sitting here, I'm looking at the little WhatsApp notification thing, and there are so many messages there. It's giving me anxiety. If we don't put this show to bed now, I'm probably going to have a heart attack. Just because you're all done.
I'm not.
You're all done.
Cody,
Did
we
you
are
get
never
more?
going to be done. We are never going to be done, right? It is just... I don't know, it's like a cancerous tumor. The moment you're like, oh, I think I'm done, it's like, no, surprise, here are 2 more. Like, I don't even know what is happening. I don't know how. Nothing about this makes sense to me. It feels like we are stuck in the Twilight Zone, where every day we are like, oh, we're done. And then all of a sudden we're back to square one again, and we're like, how did this happen? And then we power through and we're like, oh, we're done.
We're
and
done.
then back to the start again. Like, I don't know what is going on.
See, so maybe we were right. Last week was crunch week because we had to grind, or specifically me, get everything done. This week is Twilight week, where nobody really knows. Nobody really knows what's going on.
Also, like, I don't understand, because the magazine is only 144 pages, and I swear we've done 1,444 pages. Like, that also doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it does feel like we've done a lot. I also like, I suppose we'll do like, what's it called? A post-mortem. We'll do a post-mortem at the end when the magazine is officially printed, and then we can just check all of the work that we've done just lying there dead. We'll have to get it all back and then maybe get it working for the annual.
Okay,
Because
anyway.
at least we've got content.
Anyway.
Stop
Guys,
delaying.
If you want to read some of the work that we've written, you can head over to www.nag.co.za. If you would like to get your hands on the physical work we've written, you can head over to shop.nag.co.za to pick up all of our magazines. And there might only be 2 with 1 chase variant, but it feels a whole lot like there are 50. Like, I don't understand how we've only produced 2 magazines, or 1 and an upcoming magazine, because it feels like 10 magazines. It makes no sense to me, but here we are. It is apparently just 1 and an upcoming.
Also, just so you know, pre-ordering the magazine does get you guys into a couple races for some giveaways. We have tons and tons of stuff to give away, so make sure you pre-order. There will be prizes for those who don't pre-order, but pre-ordering gets you into the pre-order prize pot. That was a nice P alliteration. Anyway.
Oh, that was horrible. My lips
like...
are itchy now. They're tickling into my soul. I hate having done that. Okay, yes.
If you guys would like to be a part of our website posts, or our UTT show, or the NAG show, or just a part of our lives in general, our Monday meetings, You can drop us some stories, content, complaints, whatever you feel like. You can do it via email, and that would be to hey@nag.co.za. Or you can send us some cool pictures and voice notes and everything else to our WhatsApp line, which is 0628341919. You can also catch us on all our social media pages.
Wait, just remember, guys,
Waiting.
if you send for complaint emails, my name is Oliver and his name is Richard. So just remember that for your complaint emails. Okay, you may continue.
If you have any complaints, or your voice notes. Yeah, otherwise just catch us on social media. We're all over the place. NAG COZA, NAG Mag, NAG Magazine, all those cool things. You'll definitely see our faces there and everything being right. So do it. Go follow us.